This is the start of our camera trapping program in Tambopata National Reserve. We're in Tambopata with Rainforest Expeditions, and we're climbing trees because we're developing new methods for monitoring wildlife populations in the rainforest canopy. These are the camera traps we're using in the trees. They've got a sensor here to detect the animal. They sense heat when it's moving. This is the lens to take the picture. And this is an infrared flash, so it's invisible to most animals. Some of them can just see a red glow, but not the nocturnal ones, so it shouldn't be a problem. And we just fix these on the tree, looking out onto a branch like the one I'm sat on, and we get lots of animals. We've put 57 cameras in the canopy, each 2 kilometers apart, covering a really large area in a systematic way. And that's what lets us use those camera traps to make inferences about the wildlife populations in the area. We've also got camera traps on the ground, making this one of the bigger camera trapping surveys in Amazonia. And we're getting some amazing images of things that are really hard to see. Along with the canopy cameras, this gives us a more complete picture of the whole community of mammals in the forest. We're getting lots of videos of the larger primates in this survey, and that's really interesting to us. It's these species that are the first to disappear in less well-protected areas where there's heavy hunting. We can use camera trapping to tell us how well conservation is working for these species. At some trees we've been seeing monkeys with yellow pollen on their faces. They're drinking nectar from some flowers around here. Sometimes they hang around a little bit afterwards, sleeping on the trees, and the cameras don't seem to bother them at all. Those spider monkeys left a scent on the trees they were sleeping in, and the night monkeys were interested in that. These are black-headed night monkeys. This is a species that no one's really been able to get population data for before. And that's true of most of the nocturnal species. But we're finding these night monkeys are quite common everywhere, and they cross paths with other nocturnal species like the kinkajous and the similar olingos with their longer, bushier tails. We're getting the first population data for all these nocturnal animals with our infrared cameras. And we're also seeing some nocturnal behaviour from some of the more diurnal species like the spider monkeys and brown capuchins. You just don't get any of this by walking transects in the day. One of the problems we've had is with the brown capuchin monkeys who have been opening the traps. They're a bit too interested in the cameras. You can see them getting more and more confident in the videos until they start touching and playing with them, and then in this case they put it back for me a few days later, but capuchins forage by breaking things open, so before long it was game over for one or two of the cameras.
Apparently a capuchin monkey just ripped it out of the tree, threw it to the ground, smashed it, I don't know. You can see it's all broken.
One of the most interesting things we found is a dwarf porcupine. Dwarf porcupines aren't supposed to be here, so we're extending the range right down to Madre de Dios. Dwarf porcupines are smaller and hairier than the prehensile-tailed porcupine that's better known here, and we're actually getting more of the small one. If a species like this can go unnoticed for so long throughout the Peruvian Amazon, then it's going to be exciting to see what we find next.